Namaste, Dandavat Pranam. By the instruction and grace of our spiritual master, Om Vishnupad, Paramahamsa, Sripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj, we are here reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Canto 4, The Creation of the Fourth Order, Chapter 10, Dhruva Maharaja's Fight with the Yakṣas. Text 1. Maitreya Uvacha Prajapater Duhitaram Sishumarasya Bhaidruva Upayeme Brahmin Nama Tatsuto Kalpa Vatsaro. The great sage Maitreya said, "My dear Vidura, thereafter Dhruva Maharaj married the daughter of Prajapati Sishumara, whose name was Brahmi, and two sons named Kalpa and Vatsara were born of her." Purport. It appears that Dhruva Maharaj married after being installed on the throne of his father, and after the departure of his father to the forest for self-realization. It is very important to note in this connection that since Maharaj Uttanapad was greatly affectionate towards his son, and since it is the duty of a father to get his sons and daughters married as quickly as possible, why did he get his son married before he left home? The answer is that Maharaj Uttanapad was a Rajarshi, a saintly king. Although he was busy in his political affairs and duties of government management, he was very anxious for self-realization. Therefore, as soon as his son Dhruva Maharaj was quite worthy to take charge of the government, he took his opportunity to leave home, just like his son, who, without fear, left home for self-realization even at the age of 5 years old. These are rare instances from which we can see that the importance of spiritual realization is above all other important work. Maharaj Uttanapad knew very well that to get his son Dhruva Maharaj married was not so important that it should take preference to his going away to the forest for self-realization. Text 2. Ilayam api bharyayam vayo putram mahabala putram utkala namanam yosid ratnam ajijanat. The greatly powerful Dhruva Maharaj had another wife named Ila, who was the daughter of the demigod Vayu. By her he begot a son named Utkala and a very beautiful daughter. Text 3. Utamastvakrotodvaho mrgayayam baliyasa hatapunya janenadro tanmatasya gatim gata. Dhruva Maharaj's younger brother Uttama, who was still unmarried, once went on a hunting excursion and was killed by a powerful Yaksha in the Himalaya mountains. Along with him, his mother Suruchi also followed the path of her son, meaning she died. Text 4. Dhruvo bratra vadham shrutva kupamarsha sucharpita jaitram syandanam astaya gata punya janhalayam. When Dhruva Maharaj heard the killing of his brother Uttama by the Yakshas in the Himalaya mountains, being overwhelmed with lamentation and anger, he got on his chariot and went out for a victory over the city of the Yakshas, Alakapuri. Alakapuri. Purport. Dhruva Maharaj is becoming angry, overwhelmed with grief, and envious of the enemies was not incompatible with his position as a great devotee. It was a misunderstanding that a devotee should not be angry. It is a misunderstanding that a devotee should not be angry, envious, or overwhelmed by lamentation. Dhruva Maharaj was the king, and when his brother was unceremoniously killed, it was his duty to take revenge against the Yakshas from the Himalayas. Text 5. Gadvodichim disham raja Rudranu Rudranuchara sevitam Tadarshahima Vadronyam Purim Guyaka Shankulam. Dhruva Maharaj went to the northern direction of the Himalayan range. In a valley, he saw the city full of ghostly persons who were followers of Lord Shiva. Purport. In this verse, it is stated that the Yakshas are more or less devotees of Lord Shiva. By this indication, the Yakshas may be taken to the Himalayan tribes like the Tibetans. By this indication, the Yakshas may be taken to be the Himalayan tribes like the Tibetans. Text 6. Tadmo Shanklam Brihadbaho Kamdishas Janunadayan Yenodvigna Drishakshatar Upadevyo Trasanbrisham. Maitreya continued, My dear Vidura, as soon as Dhruva Maharaj reached Alakapuri, he immediately blew his conch shell, and the sound reverberated throughout the entire sky, and even in every direction. The wives of the Yakshas became very much frightened from their eyes. It was apparent that they were full of anxiety. Text 7. Tato nishkramya bhalina upadeva mahabata asahantas taninadam abhipetur udhayudo. O hero Vidura, the greatly powerful heroes of the Yakshas, unable to tolerate the resounding vibration of the conch shell of Dhruva Maharaj, came forth from their city with weapons and attacked Dhruva. Text 8. Satan apatato vira ugradanva maharata Ekaikam yoga patsarvan ahan banaistribi. Dhruva Maharaj, who was a great charioteer and certainly a great bowman also, immediately began to kill them by simultaneously discharging arrows 3 at a time. Text 9. Tevailalata lagnaistar Vishubi sarva evahi Matvanirastam atmanam Samsan karma tasyatat. When the heroes of the Yakshas saw that all their heads were being thus threatened by Dhruva Maharaj, they could very easily understand their awkward position, and they concluded that they would certainly be defeated. But as heroes, they lauded the action of Dhruva. Purport. This spirit of fighting in a sporting attitude is very significant in this verse. The Yakshas were severely attacked. Dhruva Maharaj was their enemy, but still, upon witnessing the wonderful heroic acts of Maharaj Dhruva, they were very pleased with him. This straightforward appreciation of an enemy's prowess is characteristic of real Kshatriya spirit. Text 10. Te chamum amrishanta padhasparsham igoraga sarhar avidyanyugapad dvigunam prachikirsava. Just like serpents who cannot tolerate being trampled upon by anyone's feet, the Yakshas, being intolerant of the wonderful prowess of Dhruva Maharaj, threw twice as many arrows, 6 from each of their soldiers, and thus they were valiantly exhibiting their prowess. Texts 11 through 12. Tatapari ganishtrimsai prasashula parasvadhai shaktrishti bhir Pushundibis. Chitravajai Sharverapi Abhyavarsham Prakupita Saratam Sahasaratim Ichantastat Pratikartum Ayutanam Trayodasa. The Yakša soldiers were 130,000 strong, all greatly angry and all desiring to defeat the wonderful activities of Dhruva Maharaj. With full strength, they showered upon Maharaj Dhruva, along with his chariot and charioteer, various types of feathered arrows, parigas, iron bludgeons, nishtrimsas, swords, prasashulas, tridents, parasvadhas, lances, shaktis, pikes, rishtis, spears, and bhushundi weapons. Text 13. Uttana padi satada shastravarshena bhurina na eva drishyatachana asarena yata giri. Dhruva Maharaj was completely covered by an incessant shower of weapons, just as a mountain is covered by incessant rainfall. Purport. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur points out in this connection that although Dhruva Maharaj was covered by the incessant arrows of the enemy, this does not mean he succumbed in the battle. The example of a mountain peak being covered by incessant rain is just suitable. For when a mountain is covered by incessant rain, all dirty things are washed from the body of the mountain. Similarly, the incessant shower of arrows from the enemy gave Dhruva Maharaj new vigor to defeat them. In other words, whatever incompetency he might have had washed away. Text 14. Hahakaras tadhaivasit siddhanam divi pasyatam hatoyam hanavasurya magna punya janarnave. All the siddhas from the higher planetary systems were observing the fight from the sky, and when they saw that Dhruva Maharaj had been covered by the incessant arrows of the enemy, they roared tumultuously. The grandson of Manu, Dhruva, is now lost. They cried that Dhruva Maharaj was just like the sun, and that now he had set within the ocean of the Yakshas. Purport. In this verse, the word Madhava is very significant. Generally, this word is used to mean human being. Dhruva Maharaj is also described here as Manava. Not only is Dhruva Maharaj a descendant of Manu, but all human society descends from Manu. According to Vedic civilization, Manu is the lawgiver. Even today, Hindus in India follow the laws given by Manu. Therefore, every human society is a Manava, or descendant from Manu. But Dhruva Maharaj is a distinguished Manava because he is a great devotee. The denizens of the planet Siddhaloka, where the residents can fly in the sky without airplanes, were anxious over Dhruva Maharaj's welfare in the battlefield. Srila Rupa Goswami says, therefore, that not only is a devotee well protected by the Supreme Lord, but all the demigods and even ordinary men are anxious for his security and safety. The comparison given here, that Dhruva Maharaj appeared to merge in the ocean of the Yakshas, is also significant. When the sun sets on the horizon, it appears that the sun drowns in the ocean, but factually the sun has no difficulty. Similarly, Dhruva appeared to drown in the ocean of Yakshas. He had no difficulty. As the sun rises again in the due course of the end of the night, so Dhruva Maharaj, although he might have been in difficulty, because after all it was a fight, and in any fighting activities there are reverses, that did not mean he has been defeated. Text 15. Nadatsu yatu dhaneshu jaya kashiv hato mude Udhatistadrutastasya Niharad Eva Bashkara. The Yakshas, being temporarily victorious, exclaimed that they had conquered Dhruva Maharaj. But in the meantime, Dhruva's chariot suddenly appeared, just as the sun suddenly appears from within a foggy mist. Purport. Here, Dhruva Maharaj is compared to the sun and the great assembly of Yakshas to foggy mist. Fog is insignificant in comparison with the sun. Although the sun is sometimes seen being covered by fog, in fact, the sun cannot be covered by anything. Our eyes may be covered by a cloud, but the sun is never covered. By this comparison to the sun, the greatness of Dhruva Maharaj in all circumstances is affirmed. Text 16. Danor Vishpur Jayan Divyam Vishatam Kedam Udvahan Astrogam Vyadhamad Banar Gananikam Ivanila. Dhruva Maharaj's bow and arrows twanged and hissed, causing lamentation in the hearts of his enemies. He began to shoot incessant arrows, scattering all their different weapons, just as the blasting wind scatters assembled clouds in the sky. 17. Tasyate chapanir mukta vidva varmani rakshasam kayan avivishus tigma girin asan ayoyata. The sharp arrows released from the bow of Dhruva Maharaj pierced the shields and bodies of the enemy like the thunderbolts released by the King of Heaven, which dismantle the bodies of the mountains. And thus ends our reading for today. We'll continue from texts 18 and 19 on Wednesday. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Sripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Srila Guru Maharaj, Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Guru Dev, Srila Acharya Dev, Srila Shanta Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai.
Jai.
Our glories to the assembled devotees, our glories to the worldwide devotees, Sama Bhaktiveda Vrinda Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Navadvip Dham Ki Jai,
Jai.
Nashanapali Dham Ki Jai, Mayapur Dham Ki Jai, Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai,
Jai.
Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Ju Ki Jai,
Jai.
Ganga Mai Yamuna Mai Ki Jai, Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Giri Govardhan Gupta Govardhan Dham Ki Jai,
Jai.
Shyam Kund Radha Kund Ki Jai, Tulsi Devi, Bhakti Devi, Vrinda Devi Ki Jai,
Jai.
Jai Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai.
Jai.
Harinam Sankirtan Yajna Ki Jai, Scientific Sankirtan Yajna Ki Jai,
Jai.
Princeton Bhaktivedanta Institute Ki Jai, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Institute Ki Jai, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Pemanandi Hari 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 Bol, Jai Sripad Ananda Krishna Prabhu Ki Jai.
Jai Sripad Krishna Keshava Prabhu Ki Jai.
Gurudev.
Hare Krishna.
Take care, Prabhu.
Okay, bro.